a child prodigy and the first perennial Paganini champion from the East. His performance of the Chinese violin concerto Butterfly Lovers won over audience around the world.
But sometimes I'm a little bit afraid, people always put a stamp on me saying that, this is the piece.
This is the guy who plays Butterfly Lovers.
And he makes it clear that his role as a loving husband and father is as important as his role as a musician.
Music, obviously, is one of the most important part of my life, but it's not my whole life.
A passion for food and wine only makes him cherish everyday life even more.
In life, every moment actually is a wonderful moment. It's only if you capture it or not.
This is the Chinese violinist, Siqing.
Welcome, good to see you again.
Yes.
It's been a while. Last time was like 7-8 years ago.
I think it's been too long.
It's been too long, exactly. But we've met each other on different occasions.
Yeah.
So once again, welcome to the Icon. How was your 2014? Was it another busy year?
Yeah, busy as usual. I'm always busy performing in China and around the world.
You also went with the NCPA Orchestra to have a tour of North America not long ago.
Yeah, in November 2014. Yeah, we went to actually 7 cities in Canada and the US. And I played in New York, in Ottawa and Montreal. And it was fantastic because it was NCPA Orchestra's first trip to North America. And it was very impressive. Everybody really loved the music they brought.
Either in Beijing at the NCPA or in North America or in Europe, I guess, in your portfolio, there will be one piece of work that you present. That's like one of your signature pieces, the Butterfly Lovers.
I always tell my Western friends, our Romeo and Juliet, 梁山伯与祝英台 almost same as the Western story, but more beautiful. Because we have this jumping, the woman jumping into the tomb, and then the two butterfly rises above the tomb. So this beautiful, recreation of the two lovers transforming into butterflies and fly away forever, staying together forever. You see, there's a beautiful thing about our story, beautiful ending.
Your version of the Butterfly Lovers left us, such a deep impression, and people were so moved by your interpretation. What was actually going through when you were playing on so many different occasions the Butterfly Lovers?
Actually, you touched a very important point, because for us musicians, when we perform, it's not the technical brilliance that will impress people. It's how you can emotionally touch people, touch people with your music, touch their hearts. I think that's very important. And it's funny, on the way actually up to the interview, I just met a person from the NCPA, and she told me that she had a relative's child who's only 5 years old, and just recently heard my Butterfly Lovers violin concerto, and she actually cried, while listening to the concerto. And decided that she wanted to study violin. So I said, that's very good news, Music is supposed to have this kind of power, Music has a power that is actually very strong and very emotional. And once actually you're struck by this power, you can become obsessed with music, and music will be part of your life forever. And I think you will have a very, enjoyable and happy life.
It was so good.
Marvelous. I was crying. It's wonderful.
I was afraid that it would be too foreign or too mysterious for us, but no, not at all. It's just as if the two musics, the Occident and that music, just meet together and produce something extraordinary.
But sometimes I'm a little bit afraid, people always put a stamp on me saying that, this is the piece.
This is the guy who plays butterfly
exactly.
covers, right?
Because I play so many other pieces as well,
But I guess you also change over time. What is still there? What is the difference that, every time when you play this piece?
You change because you've experienced more in life. You've encountered more. When I play some piece when I was single, it might be very different, compared with when I'm in love or when I got married. Then it can be very different when I had my first child. See, so your life is always changing and enriching, and this you have to feel, and you have to try to elevate it integrate it into your interpretation of the music. So you have to try to collect your emotions, your experience, your feelings that you had in your life and combine it with your musical expression.
It's kind of based on Chinese people's understanding of how music is being connected with our personality, with our character. That's like a notion from thousands of years ago, but it's the same even with Western music styles.
Yeah, music.
Going back to history,
Yeah, it's like when I play. Also, I go back and forth between history and reality. I go into the unconsciousness, and I go back to,
Your time travel.
Yeah. You travel through time, through music. It's very interesting. And sometimes when I play works by Vivaldi, for example, Vivaldi's Four Seasons, then it's like 300 years ago, the music from 300 years ago. Then I use a violin made by a great master, Stradivarius, the same period. And it feels so funny, using this, the violin and the music from that era. And then you're at this era playing, bring the music to the audience in today's world. And you could feel that the music travels through history. And also the violin, because the famous violins, they go into different violins' hands. So during the 300 years, maybe Wieniawski played this violin, maybe Sarasate played this violin, and then you can feel, or maybe Paganini played, and then you can feel all these people maybe merge into your body. You know, it's a very magical feeling, I think.
You've traveled around the world, and now in China, we have this NCPA, and we have lots of similar venues in different major cities in the country. We have successful individuals like yourself, like Tan Dun, like Lang Lang, like Wang Yujia. We can name a lot. But if you compare Chinese classical music as a whole with the Western scene, how would you evaluate?
So it's a very difficult process and a long process. But we have to learn because Western music, through its history and tradition and of the sophistication of its form, has become a dominant music form in the world. So everybody appreciates classical music, and also because really classical music brings so much joy and happiness to people. It can change people's life. So we all want to learn and to appreciate this music form. I think we've caught up quite a lot, actually, the past 10-15 years. And I think we're going in the right direction, but we need to develop in all the areas, not just producing some competition winners, producing some famous soloists. I think the function of classical music actually is in everyday life, is for everybody, is to make the society more in tune, more happy, more enjoyable, and make people relate to each other more, in a more human way. And so I think the basic music education actually is very, very important.
Meet Li Siqing when he was 8 years old. He was the youngest student admitted into China's Central Conservatory of Music. Later, Liu was selected to study at the Yehudi Menuhin School in the UK, as well as the Juilliard School in the US. Li Siqing is thankful for his East-West education background and says he'd love to pass on his experience to young musicians by starting his own educational program one day.
With your expertise, with your experience, I guess lots of people would expect you to start, say, an education program to pass on your experience. Do you have the plan to do so?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for actually quite some time, because I always think I've been very fortunate to be able to receive great education from different teachers, from the Central Conservatory, from the Yehudi Menuhin School, and also the Juilliard School in New York.
Exactly. I mean, you mentioned 3 different places. I guess it will be 3 different systems.
Yes, that's true.
How different are they?
Oh, very different. I think I'm very lucky also in this regard, because most Chinese students maybe only received 2.
One system or 2? Yeah.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
2. Well, I mean, the Chinese one is very you are quite familiar with.
Solid foundation.
Yeah, yes, very solid.
Yeah.
Technically, very strict and very solid. So actually, it established my technique abilities. As for the time in England, I think it was very helpful in my overall knowledge of music. And also, we had to play chamber music, orchestra, and take part in drama productions. I think it's fantastic because it opens your your mind, horizon, and it prepares you for the challenges ahead. Then I think in America is the one that puts you over the top, because Dorothy DeLay, the teacher I studied with at the time, was the most famous teacher.
Indeed, going to start your education program. What would be the most important message you would like to convey, say, to your students?
It's a good question. I've been thinking about this actually also. I think it's the perception of music. What really is music? Why you learn music? I think this is very important. Music should be what you feel is in your passion, and what you feel that will make your life more happier and can bring more happiness to other people. And then the other thing is to focus on yourself, because the thing you can control the most is yourself. You have to try to bring out your potential.
You think you're lucky?
I think I'm lucky. I'm always thankful for that. I think timing is everything in life and also in music. I always think by placing this note here or there, it makes whole
different composition.
Yeah, a lot of difference.
Stepping off the stage, Siqing has a loving family to return to. For him, the best way to relax after a hectic tour is to get together with his family and friends, enjoying delicious food and wine.
When we imagine the life of a musician, it's all about music, right? Either you practice, or you go to a concert, you're teaming up with fellow musicians. But I guess your life should be more than that. I mean, what is the life of a musician like yourself?
There's Chinese saying is that 不食人间烟火 is
you live in
a
paradise. You don't really live in the same world.
Right, exactly. Right, something like that, right? But actually, no. We're all from the same world. It's just a myth, we have our daily normal life. I have two children, right? And two sons, So I have to take care of them. I have to ask about how they did in school, how's their homework.
Still caring about it just like others.
I have to go to school for meetings with the teacher, and they're both learning piano and violin. So when I'm at home, I have to teach them. So it's normal, but I enjoy it. I think music, obviously, is one of the most important part of my life. But it's not my whole life, because I have my family, I have my relatives, my friends. I think the more you can enjoy the moments, the wonderful moments from your daily life, actually, the more you can, the more feeling you can put into your music. I
think complementary.
Yeah, it's complementary, and I think one should cherish the moments, the different moments from your life. I like to make time for my family, for my friends. So like for I think 4 or 5 years now, during the winter and summer breaks, I hardly accept any invitation to play concerts, because I want to reserve this time for my family and my children, because that's the only time they can relax, and I can be with them. So I want to, make time for them.
So now it's like family first, work
No,
second.
it's almost the same.
Equally important.
Yeah, when they go to school, I go to work.
Right. Do you want them to be a musician when they grow up?
Not really.
Not really.
To tell you the truth.
What do you mean? You're a successful musician yourself.
Yeah, it's a very strange answer actually. And actually many people envy them a lot because they have a father like me at home who can teach them. But from my point of view, I just want to introduce music to their life first. This is my main objective.
What I'm thinking is, I guess this is about third different generations, because it was so much different from what your father was doing when you were little. You started at 4 years of age, and you were admitted by the Central Conservatory of Music when you were only like 7, 8 years old?
8, yes.
8 years old. And your father was very much determined. He was very much clear that he wanted you to be a successful musician. But somehow that philosophy was not taken by you when you were trying to educate your own sons.
Nowadays, we're all like so-called lamb dad, right? We're not tiger dad. We will have soft heart, not like my father. My father is really
rigid, very strong.
Yeah, tiger.
Very
father.
tough.
Yeah, very tough. You have to finish this today. Yeah, if you don't work long enough, practice long enough, you cannot play, you cannot eat, you cannot sleep. No.
A traditional Chinese.
Yeah,
father.
very traditional, and we are, of course, we grew up in China, but we're educated in the West, and we have different kind of philosophy.
You've been a very successful artist, a violinist, and have they also been, I guess they must have been to this venue, been together with you for different concerts.
Yeah.
To be a famous and successful artist, is it pressure to them? And do they feel that way?
I don't think so. I think they're actually pretty proud. But I don't think they feel pressure. I remember my older son, a few years ago when he came and listened to my recital. Towards the end of the recital, my wife told me he was with a schoolmate of his, and he was telling the schoolmates, "It's such a long concert. When does it finish?"
Oh yeah, that's the true feeling.
Yeah.
Talking about sending gratitude, I guess you have to send that to your wife.
Yes.
And the education of your sons, taking care of the family business. It's all your wife's work now, and she doesn't really work. And she can be a very good artist, but she's not working, fully supporting you.
Right. She's a wonderful singer. But she stopped singing many years ago.
What a sacrifice.
Exactly. Yes. So I have to, no, I'm very thankful, really, because I think Chinese. I always refer to Chinese phrases, but they say form a family as they make a career, right? 成家立业. So you have to have a loving, harmonious family. So you don't have to worry about what's going on. You have the support of
That's
your
the
family.
safe haven you can always go back to.
You can always go back. I think it's a safe haven, safe harbor. I think wine is a wonderful lifestyle also, and of course it's important cultural tradition in Europe, very closely associated actually with music. I know actually for a fact that many wineries they actually host music concerts, and also the Medoc area actually have a music festival. So I think we always try to find things that will elevate our lifestyle, our life quality.
What do you like about red wine? I mean, why do you like red wine? Is it about the taste? Is it about...
Not until I met a friend of mine like 8 years ago in Qingdao did I fall in love with wine. I think it's the way that it's like playing music. You meet somebody who's so into what they do and so love what they do that they can actually transform your feelings towards the thing, you know, like music, you know. Some people hear a great piece of music and falls in love with classical music. And the same thing happened with me, with the wine.
It's all about the understanding
Yeah.
of music, the understanding about the taste, say.
Yeah.
Because that's why people would also make a comparison in a way, say, you know, when you mature up, when you become older, your understanding, your taste of the red wine, your appreciation of the music would also mature up, would also be different.
And of course, it all has to do with the integrate things into life. I think that's most important because, you know, classical music is a way of life for Western people for a long, long time. Yeah, it's in their everyday activities. And wine combined with food, they integrate into each other and form this culture and tradition. It's like the Chinese
Drink tea.
Yeah, drink tea or Chinese liquor, you know. It goes with the food, it goes with the lifestyle of this particular region or particular country.
Now, when we talk about red wine, we all understand red wine needs to be decanted, needs to be left there for a while to wait for the effect with the oxygen. Now, if we look at you, if we talk about yourself, say, compared to Lu Siqing 20 years ago and in yourself today, who do you like more?
Wow, nobody actually asked me this question before. To be truthful, I think now. Not because, you know, maybe I play better than 20 years ago, or maybe my life is more complete or more enjoyable than 20 years ago. I think the most important thing is, my understanding of life, of friendship, of love, of family, I think is much deeper than before, and I can appreciate and I'm more grateful for what I have now. In our journey through our life, we really need to find those beautiful and magical moments. It's like in a piece of music. I always say, how can people remember you played a great piece of music or remember your playing? Is you have to find one magical moment in your play, in your piece, that is so special the audience never forget. So I think in life we have this magical moment, but we have to find it and enjoy it and treasure it.
Is what it is.
Yes.
No regrets. Focus on what you have.
Exactly.
Now.
Exactly.
I wish I had the chance to make a toast with red wine, but if not, with this.
Yes, still a toast.
Still a toast. Thank you for your time and all the best wishes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy life.
Thanks.